Welcome to the Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life TV show. Hi, I'm Dr. Davia Shepherd. I am your host. And in addition to hosting this show, I also host a women's group called Ladies Power Lunch. Ladies Power Lunch is an amazing place where women in business, we're talking about women in small business, big business, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, women who might be part of nonprofit organizations. There are even some of our members who are in corporate or who are even retired. But what holds us all together is this idea that when women support each other, we all benefit and the community benefits and everybody wins. And so we link arms together, we support each other, we collaborate together, and we lift each other and climb together. So that's what our show is all about. We're all about growing our businesses smarter, taking our gifts and talents and using the things that we know to be true to help others who might be struggling with something that we know about. And of course, as we're going through the highways and byways of growing our business, we want to stay focused on living our optimal lives, being just the best version of ourselves that we can be. Now, fun fact, for the last few I would say the last few episodes, we have been having a self-love mini workshop journey. And our very special guest is Gail Petrowsky. She's had about 30 years experience as a therapist, as a life coach. She's a best-selling author. She has experience working with some of the foremost people who are involved in neuroimmunology. She's led hundreds of seminars and workshops and retreats, and she brings her expertise to share with us. Over the past 3 episodes, we've been talking about why is living your optimal life even important? Why is it something that we want to think about? We have talked about, okay, we've figured out that it's important. It's important for us to focus on our self-love, our self-care, but how do we go about doing that? And in the last episode, we talked a little bit about specific ways that we can actually infuse more self-love and self-care and self-appreciation in our life. Today, Gail and I are going to share a little bit of our personal stories and invite you to get off of the bus to burnout and move into a life that is more brilliant. So enjoy the show. And
We've decided that the base of the pyramid of
Yeah,
self-appreciation
yeah.
that fuels living our optimal life and growing our business smarter is balance and boundaries. That having more beauty in our lives is that next level of the pyramid, and that's inwardly focused. But there's that peak, that pinnacle of the pyramid, which is outwardly focused somewhat, and it's having more brilliance in our lives. So I truly believe, Gail, that we're here on purpose, that we're here to contribute to the greater good, that we're here to be part of a cosmic collaboration, and that the things that we do need to be fulfilling for us, fulfilling for the people that we interact with, fulfilling for the people that are our end users, and also fulfilling for the greater good. So when we have a life that has passion and
Mm.
purpose, and that hopes or strives to leave a positive legacy or a positive impact on the world, I think that's that peak of self-appreciation. What do you think, Gail?
I agree with you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And sometimes that comes from having adversity in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I mean,
I know
some,
what you mean. I know
yeah,
what you mean. I can share with everybody, my story that led me here. Because a lot of people say to me, but Debbie, you're a physician. Why are you spending so much time every day working with women to help them to live their optimal lives and grow their businesses smarter? That doesn't seem to gel with what you are doing, what you were trained to do. But here's the thing. Many years ago, when I started in practice, the timing and out of adversity comes sometimes the things that drive us, right? The timing was a little bit off. And so I started in practice when we were in an economic downturn. I've told you this story
yeah.
before, Gail. So, sing along if you know this tune. And at that same time, I had a brand new baby, and my baby was not sleeping through the night. So I was working all day long, seeing patients, doing my best to take very good care of them. And then at night, to be up and playing with my baby because he was up. What was I going to do? That
Right.
was my life. But so for 18 months, I didn't sleep through the night, not even one time, because I was working. And in the middle of all that, there was a lot of stress from business because we had lost quite a lot of our patients. We were in an economic downturn. People were losing their health insurance in addition to their, like their businesses, or losing their jobs, or even losing their homes. So it was a rough time in our community where my practice is. And so there was a lot going on. And I was not also losing my baby weight. So here I am 18 months later, still looking quite like I was still pregnant. And this was a very big challenge for me. So I thought to myself, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start training for the Hartford Marathon. And I did. And the marathon was fun, tons of fun. But right after the marathon, I started to exhibit some symptoms which looked really crazy. And after, a number of different things like surgeries and all of this other stuff that I went through, it was revealed to me that I have an autoimmune diagnosis. And so I had to very quickly learn about self-appreciation. I had to learn. And one of the great ways to learn about something like that is on retreat, because retreats fast track learning in such a special and profound way. And I learned on retreat how to absolutely reset myself. And great news, don't cry for me, Argentina, all is well. I am, knock on wood, I haven't had any flare-ups or anything like that in a really, really long time. And it's as a result of being very, very focused on taking care of my self-care. And it's not that I'm a, masterpiece at this as yet. I'm still a work in progress, Gail. But as I am a work in progress, there's an opportunity for me to share what I've been through, so that maybe somebody else might not go through that, or maybe somebody else who might be going through that might find that I have helped them in some way. And so that has become my passion and my purpose, to help women in business to live their optimal lives and grow their businesses smarter. And I know
Yes.
you have a story too, Gail. Are you open to
I
sharing?
have many stories.
Yeah, but I
Because
know you have a story that really
yeah,
aligns with my experience.
it does, and you know of the newest story. I mean, we all have obstacles to overcome. When something happens and you need to really look within, there you have to know how to rely on yourself and also others, and be able to create a networking of support. But it has to start with you, and that's your own self-talk and how you see your life. And there are many times when things happen that for everyone, that it isn't okay, and life is tough and things happen. And when I was one of my stories is while I was while I was really supporting thousands of people going through seminars, and I was putting them on, and I was facilitating, and I was planning and taking care of my young daughters and my family and my mom and my dad, like women do, and and doing a good job with all of that. All of my energy was going that way, and I wasn't bringing it back. So in one of my own retreats, one of my co-facilitators looked at me and said, you need to look in the mirror and you need to see what you're teaching, because that has to come back to you. And he was right. And I actually went to my mentor, John Grinder, who was one of the creators of neurolinguistic programming. And I flew out to California and I said, I need help. I have just been diagnosed with lupus, and I'm not feeling good, and I have young children, and I'm in the middle of all of this. And he just looked at me and he said, this is your time to look at yourself and reevaluate your own core beliefs and your own values. And where do you come in play with making a difference out there in the world? What happened to you along the way? Well, that's when I started to really learn how important taking that time away is to work on yourself, to do your own retreats, to say yes when an opportunity arises and not no and make excuses because everyone else needs you. No, I was able to reorient myself so that I could do what I needed to do with boundaries. I had to really relearn what I was teaching to another level. And it's not like I know it all now. I mean, life is always about growth and learning. And I was, and making sure that you're stepping up in your life so that your life can be more of what you really want it to be, and taking the time to see what your dream really is. What do you really want? Well, when I was able to do that, as you know, Davia. I was one of the lucky ones, and I was able to heal of lupus. So the last time they did my blood work was good, and it's never come back. There have been other things that have manifested when I have let my boundaries and my balance and lack of self-appreciation and compassion for myself happen. I'm very sensitive, so it affects me in a physical way. And as you know, a year and 4 months ago, I lost the love of my life, Joe. So that chapter in that Live Your Optimal Life, which is what I was talking about in the beginning, was about adversity, and the toughest adversity I've ever faced, except for my own health. And you know, my legacy is teaching my children and people that care about me that you can take care of yourself first and be able to do the morning you need to do and push through, and then take care of yourself and make time in your life to say yes to you. Because if you don't, as I now know, that can be very short-sighted. So, you know, everybody else that has critiquing about how I'm redefining my life right now, it's always going to be about my children first and then everybody else. But now it's Gail comes first too. I'm right in alignment with that. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have done 150 other people's seminars to get to this place. Not suggesting you need to do 150 seminars, but that was part of my research for myself and my growth, because part of my study was the field of psychoneuroimmunology. Interesting that I had that as a background and had to deal with lupus. So, you know, life has a lot of mountains and bumps in the road. And sometimes it's familial and cultural, societal norms that we think are weighing on us before we can actually stand up and say, I want to do that because that's going to make a difference for me. And when I was able to do that, I not only healed physically, but I was able to balance my mindset and recreate it and then share what I've learned with other people, which is what I'm doing now.
Beautiful. So something that has just pinged in my mind as, you know, we have been having this conversation is that as you had gone through your burnout experience,
yeah,
and as I had gone through my burnout experience, something that was helpful for both of us is going on retreat.
Yeah.
And I want to say to folks that please let me and Gail be your cautionary tales. You don't have to go to burnout.
No.
But many of us are on that bus to burnout, right? And we're not even aware of it. We might have some vague malaise, some constant headaches, or always feel tired or not able to sleep well at night. And believe me when I tell you that those little itty bitty things actually have an impact on the way that you're able to do your business and grow your business. Because if you don't have your health, it's going to really, really impact your ability to grow your business smarter. It's going to really impact the other areas of your life that you're trying to live optimally. And so I think it's a great opportunity to invite folks to give some consideration to inviting more beauty into their lives while at the same time addressing this big piece of the puzzle, which is self-love and self-appreciation. And what better way to do it than to come hang out with us, me and Gail, on our upcoming Ladies Power Lunch retreat. So over the course of the last 3, and now this is number 4, mini workshops that we've had, I've been mentioning, you know, that Ladies Power Lunch in the beginning, we used streets, and it was a real great part of the offerings that we had. But then in 2019, some of you might remember, COVID happened. And so we have not had a retreat since then. It's been 5 whole years, and folks have been asking, when are you going to go back to doing retreats? When is the next retreat? Because they've had so much value from overcoming so many things that have been weighing on their self-appreciation. So many people have been able to appreciate balance, set their boundaries, have more beautiful lives, and have more brilliant lives as a result of starting on retreat. And for me, one of the things that I love to do is one of the things that I find to be fun is hanging out with my girlfriends. And so some of the people who come on retreat, they still have really close relationships with their other retreat attendees. And there's no price that you can put on those friendships that are formed when you're sharing things that are meaningful to you and to another person. So, Gail, are you excited for our upcoming retreat?
I can't wait. I cannot wait because not only is it going to be transformative for me and for everyone else, it's going to be fun and relaxing and healing and soothing and camaraderie and collaboration. I mean, I can't wait. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. And I know I need it as much as everyone else. So I can't wait to be there.
I am looking forward to it as well. And maybe maybe I might just share my screen for a moment here and I can probably share a little bit more about our upcoming retreat. And, folks are welcome to go to our website because registration is actually open. We do have a limited number of accommodations for the retreat. You all know how retreats are. We only have a certain number of rooms available. So accommodations are double occupancy. We will be going on a beautiful destination retreat cruise with all spa level accommodations because what my theory presupposes is that we can actually nurture ourselves. We can actually have a ton of fun together while seamlessly weaving in all that we need to have for improving our balance, our boundaries, the beauty in our lives, and the brilliance of our lives. So, is it okay if I share my screen?
Yeah,
You, Gail, I just want to show you
definitely.
my our website that we have, and I hope that folks will take a quick look over at grow smarter, not harder.com/retreat and learn a little bit more about our upcoming retreat. But like I said, I love traveling. So we could all, have this same content and experience it in a dinky basement of a not very exciting place. Or we could hang out with some of our best business besties and go on this beautiful 4 night, 5 day cruise to the Bahamas. And while we're there, we start to let go of our old patterns. We start to renew and re energize our mind and our body. And we take loving ourselves to a whole new level and actually connect with other women who feel the same way that we feel. Because some of us, we're stuck. I've been there, Gail. And one of the things about being stuck is that if you don't know how to get unstuck, you can stay in that same stuck spot for years.
Yeah,
And it's almost like it's Groundhog Day all over again. Every day
yeah.
you're just on this hamster wheel of being stuck, whether it's in your life or your relationship or your career, and you're wondering, how can I make things change? How can I move forward? And you might try this thing and nothing works. Try this other thing, nothing works. But if you are overtired, overstressed, overwhelmed, not having that level of self-appreciation for yourself that you should, then no matter what you throw against the wall, nothing's going to stick because you can't change the outside unless you start on the inside. And one of the things that you like to talk about, Gail, is removing limiting beliefs and
Yeah.
stumbling blocks. I love to talk about energy and abundance and joy. And at the end of the day, we're talking about more fulfillment, inner peace, self-love, confidence. And also, there's an opportunity to let some of the stuff that's weighing us down,
Go.
let that stuff go. I'm very good at that letting that stuff go. And it's an important part. Gail, we were talking the other day just between us, and I was saying to you about how I love spring cleaning because I find that when I go through and I just get rid of random stuff, that I get so much clarity in my mind by just clearing out my closet. It's amazing how letting go can really let new stuff in. And we talked a little bit about our experience, kind of explaining that we've been where most of you are or where you're headed. We're like the end result. We're like the cautionary tale. We're the folks that you want to take our message really, really seriously because we've been there. I've mentioned, just in passing about 2 failed surgeries and going to 6 different doctors and nobody being able to figure out what is going on. And I said it probably in the course of 5 minutes, but this was my life, Gail. This was what was going on. And at the same time, I had a young baby taken care of, a new practice growing, and I was in the office working on crutches because I couldn't even walk. This is serious. Most of you will never get to that stage because you will, pull things back before you get there. But I want to invite you to not even get close there. Get off the bus to burnout and head in a completely different direction. So if you're a caretaker, if you are the kind of person who has a business that's focused on the well-being of others, people like healers, leaders, coaches, teachers, if you're the kind of person who has ever put others first and somehow left yourself behind, and this has happened to me, Gail, if you've ever forgotten what's fun for you, because some time ago I had to sort of sit and say, what do I even like to do? What's fun? What brings me joy? And sometimes when we have these feelings, we feel like something's wrong with me. But I know that you're not alone. I've been there. Gail has been there. I'm still a work in progress. Every day I have to remind myself, but I know my principles and I'm working through them. And coming together on retreat is an opportunity for you to change things completely and recreate what your future can be. So, you know, I love fun. And so I love luxury. I'm gonna share that little bit of way too much information with you. And so I've made sure that the things that come along with this retreat are things that will nurture you, that will leave you feeling pampered and loved. So we're going to have 3 group sessions before the retreat to set the stage for the transformation, because there's work that we need to do on the inside. We're also going to have 1 group session after the retreat, and that's focused on making sure that here's this thing that happens to me often. I go to a conference or I go to a seminar, something work related, and I come back and I have these, I'm gonna show you, I have these binders. See, that's why I don't show my top shelf, because it's a mess out there. We need to start clearing some clutter for some clarity. You come back with all this information and then life starts happening again and you don't get a chance to implement all the things that you learned. And so we're going to have a group session after the retreat to make sure that this work that you do when we go out there, that this sticks, and that the changes that need to happen in your life, they happen. And so that you can move into living your optimal life. You can go into growing your business smarter. We're going to have a fun 4-night transformational destination cruise retreat. We're going to the Bahamas and we are going to have some outstanding retreat swag. I was just telling Gail about the things that are going to be in the swag, and she was like, what? Because I just love swag. When it comes to swag, I am about it. And we have other bonuses that you'll learn more about as you check in with us. But all our accommodations are double occupancy. And I know some of us might be like, I don't want to share a room, but I'll tell you something fun. Some of the best friends that I've made on retreat have just happened because the universe has thrown us together as roommates. So there's some value in that as well. All the cruise taxes, fees, and gratuities are included. And we're not putting you in an inside cabin where all you can stare at is a wall or a picture. We're putting you in aqua class rooms where you have a beautiful balcony looking out at the ocean, and where you have access to the Persian Garden spa, where you can go and take advantage of the steam room and the saunas and the thermal suite and the crystallarium and the salt room and the float room. You can take advantage of all of that. That is all a part of your package. You'll also have a spa concierge. Any spa menu items that you choose are certainly you're on your own, and that's for a fee, but you have a concierge that's assigned to you to make sure that you don't have to join lines. We're not about that life right now. This is about you just being nurtured, being pampered, being the one who is being taken care of instead of being the one that's the caretaker, which I know is what you are because you are me. We have access also to special access to the restaurant called Blue on the cruise, and this is a specialty restaurant. It's probably the #1 restaurant on the cruise ship, and it is known for healthy cuisine because we want to feed our minds, but we also want to feed our bodies. And there are going to be many, many more things that we'll announce as we go along. But what's not included is your airfare or ground transportation to get to Fort Lauderdale, which is where we get on the ship. If there are any activities that are not on our schedule that you want to take part you can go ahead and do that, but that's not included in your ticket. And then if there are any other additional on board or destination amenities, those are not included either. And if you go on the website, you can see the full agenda for what we're going to do each day, but what we're going to be seamlessly weaving in to our retreat programming, because there is some really deep thought that goes into every one of the activities that we have planned, is we're weaving in more balance. We're weaving in holding compassionate boundaries and sustaining those boundaries so that we don't get off the ship and go right back into saying yes to everybody, or have the flip thing happen, saying no to everything when there could be opportunities that need to come our way. We're going to infuse more beauty, more brilliance into our lives. And there are a couple of bonuses that are available. So to say thank you for fast action, plus the cruise prices, not our prices, but the cruise prices do go up. So if you want to take advantage of the early bird pricing, which is $2,000 for the entire cruise, then I would suggest that you reserve your ticket now. Between now and this price goes away next week, Monday at midnight. So take advantage.
Dr. Davia, I'm just going to ask you this question. You're talking about that price as the workshop and the cruise, correct?
Yeah, that's the workshops.
And the name of the cruise liner?
It can go as it's Celebrity Cruise Liners, and the price can go up to, I was talking to our travel consultant, the price can go up to as much as $5,000 after next week. So that's why I'm inviting people to really take advantage of this early bird pricing, because you can't beat it. This is really, really great. And there's more. If you join now, within this 1 week period, then in addition to the group sessions, you'll also get a one-on-one VIP journey with Gail and myself sitting with you, and we're going to go deep. So I feel like that alone is worth the price of admission. If you look at our website, you'll see there are frequently asked questions. There are people who like Ladies Power Lunch who have taken a moment to just leave a testimonial for us. And we have 2 payment options that are available to you. You can pay the whole $2,000 down at once, or you can divide your payment. But either way, you need to reserve your spot now. Don't hold yourself back. Take the opportunity and start creating the life that you desire. Because Gail, you like to ask us, if not now, when?
Yeah, it's true. There's never going to be the right time or give me a few weeks to make a decision. No, the opportunity is now. And I know money is always a consideration, and time. But you know what? It's time this is not a huge investment. And for some of you, it is. And it's about investing in your life. And it will affect everyone else in your life also. And as far as the time goes, again, as Hillel says, if not now, then when? Because life just goes. And I would not like you to miss this opportunity for yourself, for your own self-appreciation, your own self-growth. No matter what has happened in the past, this is your moment now to say yes to yourself. And I would love the opportunity, as Davia would, to be there to support you. And we will be supporting you 100%. So I look forward to meeting you there. And I hope that you really hear us in your heart. And don't let anybody else's judgments or criticisms stop you from saying yes to yourself. That's really all I have to say.
Yeah. Gail, it's been an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you over the last 4 episodes of our mini workshop. I hope that people have gotten real value out of that. And for folks who may have missed the previous episodes, just go to growsmarter.notharder.com/login, and you'll see the 3 previous episodes. And as soon as I can get today's episode uploaded, I'll put that up there as well. growsmarter.notharder.com/login.
Thank you, Davia, for having me on. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And again, we hope to see you soon.
And go check out our webpage for a retreat,
Yes.
Grow Smarter, Not Harder.com/retreat. I'll see y'all on the next show. Bye, everyone.